Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. We are diving straight into it today. No roadmaps, no fluff. We're getting right to the deeply emotional core of one of the oldest texts in human history, the Book of Job. We're unpacking this incredible concept today called faith in the ash heap. And I'm telling you, it's going to completely shift how you view suffering, asking hard questions, and just enduring.
So let me ask you, have you ever experienced something that just felt deeply unfair? You know, we've all been there. It's that incredibly frustrating feeling when you're doing everything right, you're playing by the rules, trying your absolute best, and your life still completely falls apart around you. And, to make it even worse, the people around you try to explain it away, or they tell you what lesson you're supposedly learning. And you just want to scream, "Stop, you don't know what this is." Well, that raw, validating feeling, that is exactly where the Book of Job kicks off.
Section 1. The Descent of Job.
Now, to really grasp this descent, you've got to understand that Job isn't just your average guy. He is extraordinarily good, like completely blameless. He actively turns away from evil at every single turn, which honestly makes the tragedy that's about to hit him all the more shocking. He isn't suffering because of some hidden character flaw. And this isn't some slow decline over a few years. It is an absolute avalanche. On day one, boom, all of his wealth completely disappears. Then, incredibly tragically, on that exact same day, he loses all of his children. And just shortly after that, his health is completely stripped away. He's covered in these agonizing sores. It's rapid, it's total. His perfect life is literally decimated in the blink of an eye.
Faced with that kind of complete devastation, we see two totally opposing reactions. Job's friends show up and basically say, well, God doesn't punish the innocent, so you must have some secret sin. They really want him to just perform his faith, hide the pain, and recite the right little Sunday school answers. But Job? No way. He absolutely refuses to fake it. He argues. He asks the hard questions. He demands an audience with God. He totally strips away that performative mask and brings his raw, bleeding, honest self to the table.
And here is the truly beautiful truth that comes out of that honesty. Your honest questions are not a sign of weak faith. You see, eventually, God actually shows up. And he doesn't praise the friends for their neat, theologically correct little explanations. Actually, he rebukes them, and he completely vindicates Job. This is a massive paradigm shift. It proves that God can absolutely handle our hardest questions on our absolute hardest days. You don't have to perform for him. You can bring him your actual pain.
Section 2. The Theology of the Ash Heap.
So to really understand Job's transformation, we need to talk about what this ash heap actually is. It's the lowest physical and spiritual place you can imagine. Job is literally sitting in the ashes, outside the city limits, scraping at his own sores. Thematically, it's the exact opposite of the holy mountain or the temple. It's as far away from pristine, organized worship as humanly possible. It is the place of outcasts, of ruin, of just complete loss.
But here's the most stunning part of the whole narrative. When God finally answers Job, he speaks from a whirlwind. And that whirlwind descends to where Job actually is. God doesn't stand up at the top of the holy mountain and yell down, "Hey Job, clean yourself up and climb up here if you want answers." No, God meets him right there in the ashes. It's this beautiful covenant promise, really. God doesn't just wait for us on our best days and our holiest places. He descends into our lowest valleys and meets us on our absolute worst days.
Section 3. Trust in the furnace.
So, what does trust actually look like when the fire is hot? Listen to this declaration from Job chapter 13. "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him." I mean, wow. Job is in sheer agony. He has zero answers. God hasn't explained a single thing yet. And in the pitch black, Job makes this radical, defiant decision. Even if this takes my life, I am going to trust him. It's a staggering level of devotion that doesn't rely on having all the facts neatly laid out.
And this ancient resolve connects so perfectly to some of the modern wisdom we have today. Elder Neil A. Maxwell, who, remember, battled cancer himself, noted that the real question when you're in the furnace isn't, do you understand why this is happening? The question is, do you still trust? Similarly, President Nelson points out that true peace isn't the magical removal of hard things from our lives. Rather, true peace is the actual presence of Christ right in the middle of those hard things.
Section 4. The Christ Connection. Sitting right there in the dirt, Job utters something absolutely breathtaking. In Job 19, he says, "I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth." Think about that.
Job is a broken man, physically decaying, completely abandoned by his friends, living 1,000 years before the empty tomb, and he declares a literal testimony of the resurrection. He knows his Redeemer is alive and that he will see God in his own flesh again. It's like he drops the ultimate anchor of hope right in the middle of an ocean of despair.
And this brilliantly illustrates a prophetic parallel. Think about Job's complete loss, sitting in the ashes, uttering that absolute surrender, though he slay me. Now fast forward to Christ entering the ultimate ash heap, Gethsemane and the cross, taking on all of humanity's sin and death. His response? Not my will, but thine. Job's agonizing suffering and ultimate surrender perfectly mirror Christ entering the lowest possible depths for us. And for both of them, the ash heap wasn't the end. For Job, it was restoration. For Christ, it was the resurrection.
Section 5. The Honest Faith Challenge.
This challenge is specifically for anyone watching right now who feels that immense pressure to just put on a brave face during a really, really hard time. Let's break it down. Step 1. Don't perform faith. Seriously, stop trying to give the clean, perfect answers if that is not where your heart is right now. Step 2. Bring the actual pain to God. The raw confusion, the anger, the tears. Don't try to clean it up first. He can take it. And step 3. Right in the middle of that honest prayer, say, I know my Redeemer liveth. You're not saying it as some magic spell to instantly fix your problems. You're using Job's testimony as a lifeline to hold on to when you literally can't hold on to anything else. Because when you do that, you get to experience what Job did. By the end of the book, Job says this incredible line, I've heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eye seeth thee. You see, Job was ultimately changed. And it wasn't because God handed him a neatly organized spreadsheet explaining exactly why his life fell apart. No, he was changed because he stopped just hearing about God from his friends, and he genuinely, personally encountered God right in the middle of his suffering.
So, when you are in the ash heap, when absolutely nothing makes sense, and the pain is so incredibly real, will you still trust him? Remember, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. Job certainly didn't. You just have to show up. Bring your real self, your real questions, and your real pain to God. He is waiting to meet you right there in the ashes. Thank you so much for joining me on The Explainer today. Keep learning out there, and I'll catch you next time.